Why do great products fail?
Okay, so first thing first, I like the fact that you use the word great.
Okay.
Because the reality is when people get to conceive ideas, everybody feels that their idea is actually very, very awesome. Nobody gets to call their idea useless. And there is a reality that I think lots of entrepreneurs get to shy away from. And I always like to use every opportunity I have to bring it out to realization that we should have it at the back of our mind as entrepreneurs. In entrepreneurship, 9 out of every 10 businesses fail. 9 out of every 10 products fail. And the reason is simple. We tend to overblow what we call optimism. We get so optimistic that we overlook reality and we become delusional as entrepreneurs. This is what I mean. You conceive, and I'm speaking from experience because I've done this several times while trying to run companies or why I bet ideas. When you bet an idea, you get so optimistic that you feel like within a short period of time, you would be in a class of people like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg.
Everybody wants to start $1 million company.
Yeah, everybody wants to start $1 million company. So we don't get to put some things in place when we are optimistic. Optimism is very good. But I will give a very good scenario based on an article I wrote last year, which is optimism, the law of optimism and probability, or optimism and the law of probability. And this is the scenario I gave in the article I wrote. Let's take an example. You want to play for a national team.
Okay.
And you have this ambition. You come from a village. You intend to play for the national team. What will come to the mind of someone that wants to play for the national team is someday, if I train hard, I'm going to get there. You are so optimistic. You can be so optimistic that you get to overlook the fact that there might be 100,000 other persons like you that also want to play for the national team. And the national team can only allow 11 persons to play on the field at a particular point in time. So that means if you're overlooking numbers, the probability of you playing for the national team, you might be injuring yourself as an entrepreneur or as somebody that wants to play for the national team because you will not put some factors in place. Your chances in reality of playing for the national team is 11 over 100,000.
Yeah, 11 over 100,000.
It is not one. It is not just train hard and I will get there. It is train hard, but I still have 11 over 100,000 chances of playing. That means once you understand that there are numbers in place that will hinder you from succeeding as a player, you would have to put extra effort. Why great products fail? Lack of market research. I've put it out here now that people are so optimistic.
Okay.
So when they get so optimistic, they overlook, overblow, they tend to ignore market research. And one of the reasons why I love Facebook is because of the way Facebook blows my mind. When we look at new features that Facebook is bringing out, we just think Facebook bring out this feature randomly. No. Facebook spend tons of millions of dollars in order, not just advertisements, like in order to understand the psychological behavior of the users. So they tend to use that to give us features that will make us get hooked to still keep coming back to use Facebook.
So are you trying to say why products fail? The first reason why products fail is because they don't do proper market analysis.
Yes, exactly. They don't get to spend time to do proper market research. And proper market research gives you data if your business is viable or not. As an entrepreneur, you need to understand the boundaries of your optimism so you don't get delusional. So now that I've established the fact that you don't get delusional, now I'm stating that it is very important that you do proper market research beyond what you're reading online. Because the thing is, in Nigeria, we would say that we have hundreds of millions of people that are having access to the internet. But the honest truth is, we cannot use that data to categorize the real market size. If we have 100 million people having access to the internet, you can mistakenly say that all your market size is 100,000 people, whereas your real market size might just be 10,000 persons. But because you do not do a detailed market research, you do not break it down, you are overestimating. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Another reason why a great product might fail is the fact that the founders are inexperienced. And this is very true. Like, especially in a continent like Africa, we have so many people rushing to want to get into entrepreneurship. You conceive an idea, then the next thing that comes to your mind is you want to build a product, but you don't have experience. And experience comes in different form. Experience is not just that you just want to run different things. Experience comes from learning, making mistakes, practice, iterating, understanding what works and what doesn't work. Another key thing that a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, because we are talking about entrepreneurship now, is the fact that a lot of entrepreneurs are not exposed. And the thing is, they will not want, if you're watching this, you might not want to come to the agreement, the fact that I'm saying you're not exposed enough. When you want to venture into building a great product, or when you want to venture into building a product, you need to be so exposed, not just understanding from your own confinement, but you need to look out to similar products and how people are relating to it. Why are people buying this? Why are people getting this? Then use that exposure to build what you're building. So another great point I would also say is shipping your product late. And I've been in this shoe one time before, where you feel that your idea is not so awesome and that it's going to be so bad that your audience might not want to approve of and that they will reject it. So you tend to keep postponing. What shipping means is that you don't push out your product on time. You should spend a short time building your product. You don't need to have a perfect product, and that's the mistake lots of entrepreneurs make. Like, they want to wait till I made this mistake and it really cost me. When I started my recent company, I did not spend so much time before I shipped it out. And when I shipped out my product, I saw the way people reacted to it. I kept iterating. But the reason why products fail is that you shipped late. So because you shipped late, you did not get enough time to understand how your users will respond to your product.
So you're saying that we should avoid achieving perfection before shipping your product outside.
Every great product is not perfect. Any product that is perfect is not great for the market. If your product is perfect, if you tell me your product is perfect, I will tell you that your product will make no sale, your product will have no user, your product is not going to scale. Because in building products, you will keep iterating forever. Facebook comes up with new features based on the consumer psychology and how users evolve. Okay. Do you understand?
I feel another reason why great products fail is because they are not able to pivot in certain economic situation.
Yes.
And I think that involves iteration, changing your, making your business extremely flexible.
Yes. Okay. That is why it is very important to ship early. Because once you ship early and you realize that your users are not in line or in tune with your product, you can easily pivot.
So shipping your products or shipping your ideas early into the market gives you the ability to iterate and make better decisions and pivot towards your target customers.
Yes. Okay. Shipping it early helps you understand what and what not to have in your product feature. Shipping it early helps you to understand who and who is not your customer, because not everybody can be the moment you tell me that everybody you're building a product and everybody's going to use it, I will not believe you. Facebook didn't start thinking that everybody would use it. It started from schools, from colleges. Then it began to iterate, to expand its features for people to get used to it. Another important thing that I feel that would make a product fail is the fact that lots of entrepreneurs have short-term mindsets. When you're building a product, you cannot build a product with a short-term mindset and think that it's going to scale. Because even for you to adopt users for your product, it's going to take time. Users will not just... Let me just tell you one secret with entrepreneurship and why I also feel entrepreneurs are delusional. You conceive an idea in your head, you're so excited about it, does not mean the remaining 7 billion or 8 billion persons in the world will be excited about the same idea, because we all think differently. So that you have an idea does not mean that that I have an idea does not mean that you will immediately buy into my idea.
Yeah, you have to convert them with time.
So it's going to take time. It's a set of processes. Do you understand? So you cannot afford to have a short-term mindset, because if you bring in a short-term mindset in building whatever product you're building, it will cost you a lot of mistakes. You will overlook so many things, and you will sit down folding your hands expecting to get results. Lastly, why I think lots of entrepreneurs make their product fail is money. Well, this issue of you can start a company with or without money is debatable. There are some businesses that you cannot start without having a huge amount of money. But at the same time, I also say that you can start companies by bootstrapping. And maybe one of this episode of Breakfast with Climber, we'll be talking about bootstrapping and how you can bootstrap easily. But we cannot also underplay the fact that money is very, very important. Money is important in that you need money to run in some day in, day out activities. You also need money to run some form of advertising. You need money to also sustain yourself as an entrepreneur.
I feel we need money to run any business.
We need money to run any business. But the thing is, people get to overblow how much you need when you want to start a company. I tell people that once you have an idea, fine, start. So money is very important. So money is also an important factor in ensuring that a product will not fail.